what it is, what it was, what it be like. This your host of the most Daniel the Prophet Man on this Making It Happen Monday, dog. And we got to break down this gender wars part 2. Now I made part 1 like a couple of weeks ago and shit, but I really I really didn't get into depth about gender wars that's going on in today's time, with us and these females, man. Damn, I need to turn that off. But now I know all my fellas out there, they can relate to this, man. You've been in a relationship, especially in a long-term relationship or whatever, and you try to make things work, and the other party, which is the female, they think the grass is green on the other side or whatever, so they end up breaking off with you and going to go do their own thing, and then you be down and out, right? Like, you be down yourself, you be like, what the fuck I do wrong and all that other shit. And then out of nowhere, when you get away from that rut, you get your shit together. You start focusing on yourself, you know what I mean? Getting your mind right. Your faith start getting stronger because you don't put your all into the relationship no more in that female. You put into yourself like we supposed to do naturally. You know what I mean? Like, we grew up watching all these damn movies and Disney shows and shit like that, talk about what a man's supposed to do for a woman to make that woman appreciate the man, right? But in reality, that's false. It's the opposite. You know what I mean? Because the more you do for a woman, the less they do for you, and the more they resent you. But on the other hand, the less you do for a woman, the more they'll do for you, and the more attention they'll pay to you. You know what I mean? Like, the shit is backwards. You know what I mean? So when we get out of that, excuse the noise in the background, man. That's that goddamn toilet. I don't know why I always do that. But when a motherfucker start realizing that all this shit that we've been taught, how to, treat a woman, to court a woman, and all that other different type of shit, that shit don't work out and it's not true, and you do the opposite of that shit, you find more peace of mind, man, and all the results that you was looking for and start coming in fruition. Like, when you start focusing on yourself, dude, you just start paying attention to your body, you pay attention to your faith, you pay attention to your mind, your goals, everything. Then you're gonna get the results that you want to get. And I've been watching a whole bunch of videos on YouTube, and it's these cases, man, like dudes talking about when they was in a relationship or whatever, they did so much for the woman and they ain't getting nothing back in return, and they was ungrateful, or yada yada yada, the same old song, just a different motherfucking title. And they was talking about when they was down and out after the girl left them or whatever, and always be for a motherfucker that's way lesser value than you. They probably look at the external as saying that person better than you because of what they can provide for them in bed or whatever. But for the most part, them niggas, they soul is just like them. You attract who you are. So they end up attracting the same people that they are, and you be the opposite of that. So they think that your value is lower than the other person they left you for. But in reality, them motherfuckers' value is less than yours because them motherfuckers don't be having their own spot. You have your own spot, right? You know what I mean? You got your own car. You making bread. You got a gig and all this shit. And then the motherfuckers still leave you for a motherfucker that don't got a job, that stay with his mom and shit. You know what I'm saying? And wear other niggas' clothes, wear their brother's clothes, and all this other different type of shit. They ain't got their own. And then they know the motherfucker ain't no good, but it's just, for the moment, it's a good thing for them. You know what I mean? Women like that shit. They like the danger and the thrill of danger and the motherfucker having less than because they want to take control of it, man. See, I seen all that shit when I was coming up. I'm like, damn, why this motherfucking girl get with this dude? She know he ain't no good, nigga, in and out of jail. You know what I'm saying? All this other type of shit, but they keep motherfucking beating her ass, all types of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? All the shit that motherfuckers on TV talking about, women is less protected and this and that, and we need to protect women and all this shit, other shit. But we be seeing these same females keep running back to these niggas. And I used to feel sorry for them motherfuckers. I'm like, damn, why they keep going back to this dude getting black eyes and shit fucked all up and this and that? But let you say something about it, then they get mad at you and go off on you for trying to, not guide them, but, give them advice like, yo, you shouldn't be dealing with this motherfucker, man. He ain't no good for you and this and that. They'll flip on you. So that's why motherfuckers throw their hands up and be like, fuck it, shit. I ain't gonna tell you a goddamn thing then. You gotta learn on your own. You know what I mean? So how can we feel sorry for a person like that? They don't want to help themselves, you know what I mean? So, just like I said, if you can't help yourself, God can't help you. You got to help yourself first, then God will help you. So I've been watching all these videos, and dudes, like I said, they was in a long-term relationship, whatever, didn't work out, the girl ended up leaving them. And then when they finally get up out of that depression mode, because that shit will make you depressed. I don't give a fuck how stoic you is, how hard you is. a man is still a man, and we still humans. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we still humans. So a nigga be depressed, whatever. But then when he get his mind right, he started, and that's the best thing about solitude. When you be alone and shit, when you be alone, man, you start finding everything about yourself that you didn't discover before, and you start strengthening that shit. You know what I mean? So when you start going out, you know, exploring and shit, that's what I do. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I had my fucking first breakup and shit like that, I just started going out. I just said, fuck it. I let the wind blow me as it did. And I just started going out and shit. You know, start focusing back on my music, start working out, and I ain't even pay that shit no mind no more. And out of nowhere, when I got my shit together, man, I started getting attention from all types of bitches. Like everywhere I go. Like I'm like, nigga, I couldn't get y'all before. When the nigga was down and out, they couldn't get y'all before. Now, when I don't pay attention to y'all and shit, now y'all want to start coming my way. I be in the gym doing my thing, doing my reps and shit. Motherfucker bro just walk on right by me and shit, bend over and shit like she gonna pick something up. You know, and damn well ain't nothing to pick up and shit. You know what I mean? Go to the store. I go in the aisle and she go grab something to eat. Motherfucker gonna glance at me. You know they do that little they do that look at you and shit like that, so you can go over there and talk to them. So they'll look at me. I'm over here picking my shit out the fucking aisle, then they'll come over there by me and shit to see if I'm gonna say something to them. I'm like, man, I'm like, y'all niggas the devil, bro. And they do that at the perfect time. When you up on your game and shit, and you focusing on yourself, that's when they want to start coming around. When the nigga, like, I ain't gonna say a nigga needs somebody, but you always need some type of support and some type of shoulder to lean on when the nigga down and out. So when the motherfucker did need somebody, when nobody around to be found. So when nigga did need somebody, a nigga went around to be found. But now when the motherfucker is peaceful to they self, you know what I mean? Ain't got no distractions around them. Now all the distractions want to come around. So I'm like, man, I think that's the devil, man. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you something. I know they said that I think women born evil. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think they born evil, bro. Cause it's like like you would be around a chick, right? I give this one example. I was around this chick, I was chilling with her, you know what I mean? I just met the chick at the store and shit. So I got the chick number and shit. You know, we hooked it up the same night. And out of nowhere, these bros that I tried to talk to before, man, they wouldn't even answer my call and none of that shit. So shit, I deleted their numbers and shit. So this one chick I met the same day and shit, we hooked it up later on that night. Out of nowhere, these same bras and shit that ghosted the motherfucker, you ignore the motherfucker, they start calling the nigga when I'm busy and shit around the broad. And I'm like, man, I could never talk to y'all, but now all of a sudden when I got company around me, now y'all want to start coming around. You know, that shit happened on a few occasions. I'm like, bro, it's like they got some type of sense, like it's some type of sense in their body, like, oh, this nigga doing something, he up to no good. Let me see what he doing now. When they alone and shit and trying to hook up some shit that they always busy and shit. You know, I know I ain't the only motherfucker that been through that shit, bro. And that shit is it's like some mystical, that's some mystical shit. You know? But it's irregular. You know, it's regular because it's common with a lot of people going through the same thing that I'm going through. But I'm saying that's irregular, like by nature. That don't supposed to happen. You know, we supposed to be a unit. You know, I be out here rapping to these broads and shit, and they say the most dumbest shit in the fuck where I be like, I see why you single. I see why you single. Like this other chick the other day, she was like, she's scared. She didn't want to meet up because she don't know she's going to end up being found dead. I'm like, being found? What are you talking about, girl? We going out in public and downtown where there's a fucking millions, thousands of people outside and shit like that. Ain't nothing going to happen to you. Shit, I should be thinking, I should be saying the same about your ass because it's a whole bunch of cases about these broads drugging up these damn dudes and shit and getting them off. It's all on YouTube. So I'm like, shit, I'm supposed to be asking that question. They want to change the plans around and talk about, well, can my friend come? Like, nigga, when I fucking met you and got your number and put it down on you when you picked up what I put down, nigga, your friend wasn't there, it was you. So why the hell you gonna bring a stranger around on your first date and shit? Then it's only me. It ain't like I got a friend to hook up with that motherfucking shit like that. It's two of y'all against me. Y'all can have anything going on. I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on. You could have been plotting against me the whole time while I'm texting you. So I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. If we ain't gonna be in downtown and shit like that, made the shit mutual. I'm like, shit, we're gonna be in downtown outside, motherfucker, like in front of everybody. So if you ain't down with that, then that's it, man. Shit, I don't want to hear from you no more. But yeah, man, like, It's crazy, man. But like I said, that shit is irregular. We don't supposed to be living like that. We supposed to be a unit. And this break off and shit, this divisiveness between females and males and shit like that. That's why the world it is. That's why the world is what it is right now. You know, with confusion, because it don't supposed to be complicated and confusion and all that other crazy shit like that, man. We're supposed to be a unit together. You know, that's how next civilizations and shit like that start being arisen, by a male and a motherfucking female. How the fuck you think we got here, goddamn it? They ain't just motherfucking female ain't just lay down and just spread her motherfucking legs and boom, just popped out and shit in the fucking stork dropped in front of the goddamn porch and shit. Then we got here. Nah, nigga, this ain't Looney Tunes. It didn't happen that way. Motherfucking male shot his shot with the female. She felt that shit. Boom, went on, did his thing and shit. Shot beside her ass and boom, 9 months later we hear him. You know, but now it seems like it's a droppage and a deficiency and a less percentage of children being, well, I mean, it's children being born, but it seems like it's like, what you call those type of those kids, man, like test tube babies. It seems like it's more test tube babies now is being born and shit from these women, because it's not out of love no more. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, you hear stories about, you know, motherfuckers going to club and shit. They meet each other in the club, they hit it off, and then boom, these motherfuckers still married today, 40, 50, 60 some years later and shit. You know what I mean? And it ain't perfect. Ain't nothing perfect. You ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. Nobody's perfect. But the things that we can deal with, that's not so hard to make a motherfucker break up with and shit like that. Ain't nobody being violent towards each other, being abusive and shit, you know, manipulating each other and shit like that. If it ain't got to that point, to the point that it fuck your mind up and change you to somebody else that you're not, you supposed to work with each other on the little small differences that, you know, they kind of tick you off. Because ain't nobody gonna like everything about you. There's gonna be some shit that somebody gonna dislike about you in a relationship. That's, you know what I mean? You're a female and I'm a male. It's gonna be some things I do that you ain't gonna like. There's gonna be a lot of things that you do that I ain't gonna like. You know what I mean? But we gotta weed out the parts, the dislikes that I have in the likes that I do have, and that's supposed to outweigh the dislikes. You know what I mean? And then that's how things work out. And then all the dislikes, you know, just separate from each other. You know, go out and go jogging or some shit. I don't know, go fucking writing and shit. Go to the park. You know, you find ways, but this just hurry up, cut motherfuckers off type shit. That's why we having a whole bunch of issues with each other. And that's why a lot of females are having a lot of diseases these days. Just think about it. The women back in those days, they lived for what? 80, 90 years old and shit like that. And 9 times out of 10, when they lived that long, they had a husband with them. And then, you know, a lot of us men, we die before the woman. So the woman still be alive probably like a couple of years later or 10, 20 some years later. Then she ended up passed away. But I noticed, and I was talking to my mom about this. I noticed a lot of women these days dying real young, and a lot of them single. They weren't married. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it wasn't designed for a woman to be single. To be honest with you, it ain't designed for a man to be. That's why God made Eve out of Adam. It's not designed for us to be single, man. Especially in this country that we living in this world. It's hard for you to make it out by your goddamn self. Everything's going up and shit. You know, rents going up, food going up. You know what I mean? So it's hard for a motherfucker to make it out here. You got to have like 2 or 3 jobs and shit for you to sustain this shit. You know what I mean? Especially down here where I'm at. Shit, they charge you for every goddamn thing down here in Texas. They pay more, but shit, everything else is fucking high too. You know? So it's hard to make it out here by yourself. And that's why a lot of these women getting all these diseases and sicknesses and illnesses and shit, because they putting so much on their back. God didn't create and design for you to have all that pressure put on your back and on your head. That's why you got a man here for, to take that shit up off of you. But no, they want to do everything by themselves. Okay, well, you got to deal with them headaches and the migraines and all the other shit and bleed out real bad and shit when you're on you got to deal with all that shit, man, because you want to be hard-headed, you know? And then when they get fucking 40, 50 some years old, after they've been ran through in their fucking prime years in their 20s and 30s and shit, and had 1,600 kids and shit, you know, they done had a goddamn whole fucking 300 club and everything. Now they want to sit there and talk about they want a good man. They want to settle down. Nigga, nobody want to. What the fuck I'm going to feel? I ain't going to feel shit. That shit loose as a goose. You don't fuck everybody in Texas. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. This shit is backwards. But then us, we end up, you know, grooming ourselves, right? We getting together and shit right there. Our motherfucking vocabulary start getting tight. And it seems like our value go up, you know, as we get older and shit like that, because we start peeping out more game that these women are playing and shit. And then these women keep on falling for the same shit, the same type of guys. You know what I mean? Because you gotta think about it. It's less good dudes out here and more fucked up motherfuckers out here. So they keep getting the same run around with the same type of guys that they're attracted to because that's who they are. But the good motherfuckers that's doing right, doing their thing, and focus on themselves, motherfuckers brush by them. But little that they know, shit, man, we got a bag coming. But you know what? I think it's gonna come. It's gonna come back around, man. You know, slowly but surely. You know, consequences is being dealt out real fast, like a motherfucker. You know, I seen this one story the other day. This female from Spain. She was 28, and she ended up offering this girl that was like 21. Both of them were strippers down there in Georgia. She ended up offering this girl that was 21. I think they was roommates or whatever. And man, the way that she offed her, bro, you know she got to have hatred in her heart. Like, she stabbed her. I hope I can say that on her. Hope they don't censor me, but she stabbed her. Then I think she stuffed her body in the mattress and shit. And then she fled to Spain. But they end up, you know, getting her from Spain and bringing her back to the States. And she just got, I think she just got convicted. Excuse me. But for you to do all that to a person, like, I don't know what it was over, but I ain't gonna lie to you. When I saw the picture, the girl, both of them Latin. The dark-skinned girl, that's the one that killed the other female, the girl that's 28. And the girl that she killed was a light-skinned girl. And, you know, out there in those cultures and those countries and shit, they got a real big colorization issue. Like, they real big on, if you light-skinned, they think you more valuable and shit like that. And a lot of those dark-skinned girls be envious of that. So that's I don't like to assume nothing, but that's what I concluded. That's what I assumed that was the issue. They probably had a little spat, you know, girls is catty and shit like that. So they had a little spat about something, what happened and shit like that. And then and then on top of that, the girl that she had spat with was young. She 21 years old, light-skinned girl. She look all right. I mean, it ain't my cup of tea, but she look all right. So whatever that she had built up, that dark-skinned girl that had built up and shit, she took all that shit out on her. She took all that shit out on her, and that's why the reason that she offed her the way that she did. You know what I mean? And man, she done threw her whole life away just because of whatever fucking type feelings that she had inside that she couldn't conceal, that she couldn't control. You know, 28 years old, man, she threw her whole life away. And the girl 21, I don't think she had no kids or nothing like that. Come on, man, don't start hitting me up when I'm doing something. But yeah, the girl at 21 years old, she didn't get to live yet, man. Just hit 21, just got legal. And she gone, you know, so I ain't gonna say rest in peace. You know, condolences to her family. I wish I knew her name so I can, you know, spit it out. But condolences to her family, man. I hate to hear stories like that. There was another story about a dude got drugged by this female. I think this was in New York. No, I wasn't in New York. I think it was in Georgia. The same place this shit happened. I think it was in Georgia. He took her out on a date. Nah, they met at the club. They went at the club, right? The motherfuckers was in the club. They was gigging, doing their thing and shit. So he ended up taking her back to the pad. So it was two of them though. He had two of them. And but this for the life of me, I don't understand this. You take her back to the pad. Why you let her make your drinks, nigga? That's your pad. You supposed to be the host. Hey man, you know, I got some shit up in here. You know, you want this and that, and this and that. You supposed to fucking, you know, be the host and shit. How you let this motherfucker take control in your fucking pad and shit and make you a drink? That was dumb. Like, I don't want to sit there and shame the victim, but that was stupid, man. So she ended up making him a drink and she ended up drugging him and shit. So she drugged him and her and her friends robbed his ass, man. Got everything from this motherfucker. They took his phone. That shit ain't funny. I ain't trying to laugh, but I'm just saying. They took his phone. They took his money. I think he said had over a stack on him and shit. Took his bread. They said he took some other devices and shit like that he had too. Them motherfuckers skedaddled. They got gone. But he ended up reporting this shit and then they ended up catching him, but they made bail. Damn. They ended up making bail. And I think the bail was like $7,500 or some shit like that. And They're supposed to be going to court, and she might be facing like 10 years or some shit like that. But man, look, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't gonna lie to you. I brought a few chicks back to the pad before, you know, but I had the discernment that I'm straight. I mean, you can't never know, to be honest with you. You can't never tell, you know, you can't really put nothing past nobody. But still, you got to have some type of discernment, some type of sense to know who not to and who to bring to your spot. For real, for real. You know what I mean? So if you got that sense like, I don't know, man, there's something shaky about this motherfucker, man. I don't know about this. Well, I think I'm going to take it to the Rosie Mosey. You know what I mean? Or just do it up in the whip. Or shit, just leave it alone altogether. To be honest, I'm going to tell you something. If you got that type of feeling, you shouldn't be fucking with a period. You know, it's like playing with the devil. You know what I mean? Like, if you got that type of feeling, nigga, fuck you. I'm gone. Fuck you. I ain't feeling good. Fuck you. You know what I mean? But if everything's neutral, then yeah, you know, I'm okay. I mean, let us kick it for a little bit longer. And if the feeling still is the same, then I'm gonna bring you back to the pad and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta make sure that you be patient. You can't be rushing to be horny and shit like that. That'll be fucking niggas up and shit. That's when you're younger though. When you get older, you start, you know, you a little bit more, you know, cautious and shit with how you move. When you're young, you don't give a motherfucker. You just young, dumb, full of cum. You just, man, come on, let's go do it. You know what I mean? Like fucking jackrabbits. So that will get a lot of motherfuckers. And I don't know how old dude is. I don't know how old he was. You know what I mean? So he probably was young. I mean, but you got old fools out here too, just like it's in the Bible. You got old wise men, you got old fools too. So he could have been an old dude too. You never know. You know, but you gotta be careful though, man. You gotta use your senses, man. You gotta use the third eye. So that was another story. And then I seen a story about this teacher. Now this been going on for a long time, man. This kind of remind me of that movie, what's that fucking movie? With that teacher. I don't know if y'all remember this movie, but it was a movie back in the day in the 90s and shit about this story of this teacher in the 80s that was messing around with this teenage boy. I think it was a middle school teacher. And I think he was like 12 or 13 years old or something like that. She was a white chick, and then he was a Spanish boy. He was out in California. And she ended up getting caught and convicted. And she served some time. I think she served like about 20-some years or something like that. So she did her time. And you already know by the time she got out, he was already grown. And they ended up getting back together. They ended up getting married. You know, I seen the movie they had at the end of it. They said she did her time. And he ended up becoming she didn't do no 20 years. I'm tripping. Like she committed a murder or some shit like that. She probably did like 5 to 10 years, something like that. But by the time she got out, though, he was already grown. He was of age. They ended up getting together and they ended up getting married and having kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? So now I don't know if they still together, you know, if they still alive or whatever. But at that time, you know, yeah, they was together. So that takes me to this incident right now that's going on currently. It's this teacher of soccer. It's this soccer coach. And she was messing with her soccer player. And I think she was a teacher too, because they said that she was tutoring him before school. So they ended up doing the tutoring before school. Come to find out, the dude mama went through his phone and saw messages of her and him conversing, talking sexual to each other, and was saying, you know, oh, I like how you feel, baby. And, you know, just talking about their sexual experiences they had together and shit. So she ended up calling the police and shit and getting her ass arrested. Well, didn't get her arrested. She made a report or whatever. She ended up getting pulled over. The teacher ended up getting pulled over with her husband. And she married too on top of that. Ain't, you know, that's how it used to be though. So when females be talking about, I don't be talking to that dude. He got a girlfriend. Bullshit. It'd be the opposite. Them the ones they like going after the ones they be taking and shit. They like a motherfucker that already got a girl and shit like that. But anyway, they ended up getting pulled over, right? And she all surprised. They got audio of that shit. I wish I could pull all this shit up right now, but I ain't know it's gonna be this long shit. I was trying to make something real quick. But anyway, they ended up getting pulled over. And she tried to act all surprised and shit. And dude was like, and the officer was a bitch ass nigga. He was cool with her and shit like that. Knowing what type of charge she getting arrested for and shit. Cause if it was us, they'd be hostile with us and every goddamn thing. Hey, roll your windows down. Give me matter of fact, they about to arrest you. Like, get out the car, step out the car, put your hands behind your back. You being arrested, this and that, then they read us. Sometimes read us Miranda rights and shit like that. But this nigga was all nice to her and shit. He's like, excuse me, ma'am. Can you please step out the car? He's like, I hate to do this to you, but he didn't say I hate to do this to you. He's like, I wish I could tell you all the ramifications and stuff like that why you being detained, but you are being detained right now. And she was like, "What's going on? And why am I being detained?" He said, "I really can't tell you. You know, you got to go down to the precinct, and you gonna talk to the investigator and all that different type shit." Like, this nigga was being very nice to this motherfucker, and she got a fucking charge messing with a minor. The boy was, I think, 14, I believe. The boy was 14 and she was 28. She's 30 now. So she was 28 at the time. So he ended up telling, you know, and the husband, he don't know what's going on. This nigga startled. He don't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck we getting pulled over? What the fuck my wife being detained for? So so he was like, okay, your wife can come, your husband, he can come down to the precinct, you know what I mean? Or he can, you know, whatever, how arrangements y'all want to do it and shit like that. But we gotta detain you and take you down to the precinct. You want to get your stuff. Like, this nigga was being very nice to this motherfucker, being polite and shit, talking with a nice ass fucking. I'm like, man, that's some bullshit, bro. So they end up getting her arrested, and they end up charging her. Well, nah, they ain't even charged yet. That just happened. Nah, they ain't charged her yet. But they end up detaining her though. So I think they said something about she could be facing 10 years, you know, and that was had all the layout out, man. I would have laid all this motherfucking shit out to y'all and shit like that. But anyway, she ended up getting arrested and shit, you know, and it kind of reminded me of the story I was telling you about earlier about the movie that I saw when I was a kid about that middle school boy that was messing around with that teacher and shit. And it was people out in the comment section, weak ass niggas, talking about, man, where she was at when I was in school and this and that. I like, nigga, y'all see, and y'all the reason why motherfuckers they be defending why you know these females be so-called victims and shit of these dudes, because the shit y'all fucking say, like, bro, this nigga is a victim and he's a child and she's messing with, and then hold on, let me tell you the messages that happened afterwards and shit before she got arrested. But when she got mad, because the boy ended up going, he had a girlfriend that was his age and shit. So she ended up getting mad and texting him talking about, so how could you do this to me and this and that? And you the reason for my anxiety, and I can never trust you. And I'm like, he's a 14-year-old fucking boy. She talking like this dude is a full-grown fucking man being experienced with all these women and shit like that, and you know how you supposed to and not treat a motherfucking woman. This is a 14-year-old fucking boy she's talking to like this, talking about you the reason for my anxiety and this and that. Bitch, what is you talking about? What is you talking about? Like, motherfuckers is delusional. And that's the thing about it. She ain't the only person, she ain't the only female that think like that, man. A lot of these fucking females think like that, bro. They fucking delusional, man. Like, that entitlement, I'm trying to tell you, man, that entitlement shit, it fucked their head up, man. That entitlement, that protection that they've been getting from the government and shit, they don't deal with no accountability and shit, that shit fucked their head up, man. That shit poison their fucking head. So when a nigga do be logical, a nigga do be sensible with their ass and shit like that, that shit is like, that shit is the opposite to them. You know what I mean? That shit is like, that shit is flammable to their motherfucking ass. That shit will burn their fucking soul. You know, that's immorally incorrect for them. You know what I mean? It's morally correct spiritually. You know what I mean? In God's eyes, but to them though, that shit is immorally incorrect in their fucking nature. Everything is reverse. It's reverse psychology with them, man. So you got to play them games. So when she said that shit, I'm like, hey, it's all deja vu. Cause they remind me of my fucking exes I used to talk to. They talk that same fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, when we was coming up, they talk about all dogs are men and this and that. See, that's what I'm talking about. That same shit they put in these movies that don't be real and shit. And they be the opposite. They be talking about all dudes are dogs and all dudes the same. But come to find out all these years later, it seems like all these females are fucking same. Because if you go talk to all these motherfuckers out right now, they all single. And that ain't by coincidence. Then you run down the store. Then you like, you know, you try to, you know, get a gif of who's that motherfucker, the last person they was in a relationship with, just to see who was in the wrong or not. I already know what, man, look, it's like, I ain't no psychic or none of that shit. But once you've been around the block a few times and shit, you start hearing the same old song, you can fucking tell from a mile away and shit, man. Before motherfuckers start opening their mouth and shit, you can tell how this motherfucker is, bro. And what happened in her last relationship. You can tell, man. You just get that sense. That's why it's good to have experience. It's just like a boxer. That's why I like boxing. It's like boxing, right? You've been boxing for a long time. You've seen all these different styles and stuff like that. You get all this experience. It's nothing that's going to be fazed by you when you do see another motherfucker come with a style, because you done seen every style in the book of fighting. You know what I'm saying? So don't nothing shock you. You should see it coming before the nigga even throw his first punch. So it's the same thing when you're dealing with people. When you deal with people so much, and it's a pattern, you see the same steps, you know what I mean, the same order, just different faces, different places, but it's the same motherfucking steps. You should be able to be equipped with it, you know? So it ain't no motherfucking coinkading while all these females out here single. Just think about it. It's majority females than it is males. It's a whole bunch of women out here, and it's less men than it is females. But majority of American women, I'm not talking about women in this world, in America. It's majority American women that's single than any other fucking country on this planet, because they still go off of, even though they have like different beliefs and different religions and stuff like that, they still value the tradition of marriage. You know what I mean? So if you go to India, it's rare for you to find a single Indian dude and a single Indian woman. It's usually a couple. They usually married. You know what I mean? They have a family. When you go to China, the same thing. You know, they still believe in that togetherness, because that's godly. Even though they have different religion, but it's still godly to know that you're supposed to be a man and a woman. So when you go to China, when you go to Vietnamese, when you go to Japan, when you go to India, when you go to Pakistan, Afghanistan, if you go to all these countries, you'll see a fucking you'll see a unit with man and a woman and child. Come to America, gang of women, few dudes, all single women. And it's only a few, only a handful of women that's fucking married, but it ain't too many. And if they is married, they either white, Chinese, or Mexican. I can't forget, Mexican, especially Mexicans. You know, I'm down here in Texas, so there's a lot of Mexicans down here, especially Mexicans. They real big on family too. Now you have a few here and there, you know, that's scattered, that's doing that same shit, but they real young. But even the young ones, their parents got them indebted on fucking family and shit like that. That's why they be having kids so goddamn young and shit. And they get married young. But for the most part, down in America, other cultures like Mexicans, Chinese that came from over there in their country, shit like that then been brainwashed in our westernized ideology. And Pakistanis and different cultures down here that be in enclaves in their own communities that's not being brainwashed by, you know, our Western standards, beliefs and stuff. They still married. They still together. They believe in, you know, they still believe in units and family. But us, though, black folks, man, we all single, man. Come on, and that's for a reason. That's for a fucking reason. That shit don't nothing happen out of nowhere for coincidence. Everything happened for a fucking reason. That stupid ass feminist bullshit that I don't know why black women want to sit there and follow. They follow this stupid ass woman, Margaret Sanger, and believe everything the fuck this she said and shit to have them go against us. And ever since then and shit, they sit there and believe in the government and have these other men and shit like that take care of them instead of the men that fucking come from. And then you know where we come from. Cut all that bullshit out, man. Talking about we come from a woman. Look, man, they just push us out. Nigga, we come from our father's scrotum. All of us. Nigga, when we start developing sperm at the age, I know I developed at 12, 13. When we start developing the age, motherfucking puberty and shit, that sperm was developed in the man's scrotum, my nigga. All that hitting and kicking that females been doing it, they've been fucking abusing our kids since we was fucking kids. Then we shoot it off in their ass. They don't do nothing but hold the motherfucker forwards. Go through the pains, go through the contractions and all that other shit. But nigga, you ain't doing nothing but just holding something that I created in you and just push the shit out. That's it. I mean, I ain't saying that this shit is it. Just like that shit is like easy to fucking do and it ain't painful. I get all that. But my nigga, you wouldn't do the shit if I didn't put it inside you and inject that motherfucker in you. That's all I'm saying. Just like when you sit there and plant something, you put some seeds up in the motherfucking ground and shit. Nigga, that shit ain't gonna grow if you don't throw no seeds and put some water in that motherfucker. Like the seed is the nigga scrotum. The seeds come from the nigga scrotum. The nigga shoot the shit in the ground, and the ground is the pussy. The ground can't do nothing without the seeds being in that bitch. It's just there. You know what I'm saying? It's just there. So nigga, I sit there and put the seed in there for my scrotum that I've been developing since I was 12, 13. Put it in your ass, they ain't had shit in there, but an egg that connect with it and shit. That's it. But the egg can't do nothing without the goddamn nut. So I put that shit to connect with your shit, and then it just grows in your shit. And every time you do some shit, it's gonna come out the same shit that you put in there. So that's why motherfuckers be like, yo, watch what you eat, watch what you drink, watch how you think, watch how you feel. Cause you putting all that shit in that child. So when they be thinking the way they be thinking and all that shit, that's why the kid be thinking the way that he fucking think, or she fucking think. They eat the type certain foods that they fucking eat, to drink the certain drinks that they drink and smoke all. Nigga. Them repercussions that the child has got to endure in their body and shit and shape their mind and shape their fucking chromosomes and all that shit. from what you put in it. So you gotta be responsible. You know what I mean? But nigga, we sit there and tell them motherfuckers, they sit there and get mad at us, start snapping at us and shit. Like, nigga, this is my creation. You gotta take care of that, nigga. If I can take care of it, I could, but I can't. God didn't make it that way. So while it's inside you, make sure you right by it. You know what I mean? So they end up having it and child be where it's gonna be, and then they end up leaving the nigga. And then check this out, I go another story. A lot of American women that I be seeing that's black, they end up having a child or whatever. I go rap to them. The kid be a few months old, a year or two. And I'm like, what the dad at? They be like, I don't know, ain't he in it? Nigga, that's still an infant. You had a baby, y'all ain't even together no more? Like that weird type of shit. That's what I'm talking about. Now, dudes, contest if I'm lying or not. Now, we go out there and do our thing. The people that still cold approach, because a lot of men don't even cold approach no more, and I don't blame you. I do it because it's a workout for me. You know what I'm saying? To make sure I still got it and shit like that. But it's a workout for me. But I understand why you don't do it. That's why I don't bash motherfuckers that I don't understand niggas that do that shit. I'm not trying to go all around this net, but I'm trying to talk about every fucking thing while it's on my spirit and shit. But that's why I don't understand whole ass niggas, them simp niggas. And that's another thing. It's a lot of bitch ass simp niggas these days, man. Ain't no men no more, man. Because why would a fuck another man judge another man how he fucking move and shit? That's female fucking nature. I heard motherfuckers online talking about passport bros going overseas and shit like that, getting pussy because they can't get no American bitches. That's some shit a bitch will fucking say. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and judge that man for going over there to find his happiness. If that man can't find his happiness here, then God bless him. Let him go over there and find his motherfucking happiness over there happiness over there. I'm not about to sit there and fucking shun him and disparage him and shit like that for trying to go pursue his fucking happiness, nigga. That's some demonic shit, bro. That same thing for a female. If a female feels as though she can't find no love here, then go do what you gotta do and God bless you on your journey. I'm not about to shoot you down for that shit. If you feel as though in your heart that's what you want to do and you're gonna find happiness over there, then go do it. But you judging a motherfucker because they trying to go find something better instead of just being stifled and just stuck here and being all depressed and full of anxiety and all that other shit and welling until they fucking mess around and off their damn self. Nigga, I'd rather for them to go out and go find it than do that. You know, so but I see why, you know, brothers go out there and go do their thing and I ain't gonna lie to you. When I see a couple of those videos though, when they be talking, I'm like, dude, y'all don't know how to talk to no girls, bro. I'm like, y'all lame. For real. Y'all niggas don't know how to talk to no females. So I kind of get, but they do play games. I ain't saying females do play games. We know all that. But for real though, nigga, y'all don't know how to talk to no females though. For real, man. Like you gonna cold approach, you gotta come right, you gotta step right. You know what I mean? But that don't mean nothing at the end of the day. I mean, you can get their number, this and that, but they still gonna be playing games. But you know, a lot of y'all niggas don't know how to talk to no goddamn girls, man. But anyway, see, I said all this shit to say, hold on. Oh yeah, but I see why they go out there and do what they do. So God bless them, man. Let them go out there and go, you know, find what they feel as though they, you know, they happiness and shit, you know. And damn, I was gonna drive that home. I was gonna drive this shit home with something. Oh, and that was okay. This is what I was about to say. So you go, I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. But it's gonna come back around and thinking about it. But you go rap to a girl and shit, and she got a little kid that's an infant or whatever, or probably under 2 years old, and they ain't even with the guy. They like, damn, why y'all ain't with each other? Y'all just had a kid. It's a fresh newborn baby. And they be like, he had, and this and that. And 9 times 10, they broke it off. They be like, well, shit, I ain't taking them back, and this and that, and all this other shit. I'm like, see, that's the thing. We're not patient with each other no more. We used to be patient. Gotta think about it. Grandma and them back then, man, them motherfuckers, they weren't pure. You know what I'm saying? They done messed around with the mailman, the postman and shit. You know, granddad and fucking was asleep, Papa was a Rolling Stone. That nigga was around doing his thing, but guess what? The main thing was that man brought home the bread, dog. He brought home the bread. He took care of the family. He made sure the family was good. That's the main source. That's the only thing that fucking matter. All that other shit, my nigga, man, that shit ain't that fucking important. As long as that nigga ain't beating your motherfucking ass and shit, ain't damn near about to kill you and shit, he ain't fucking up with the goddamn money, making sure y'all ain't being evicted and shit, make sure y'all got food in the refrigerator, make sure the kids got clothes on their back, they going to school, everything's all good, the essentials, the important shit. Everything like that is intact. All that other shit don't even matter. Because guess what? At the end of the day, once she doing or whatever, well, I ain't gonna say she don't be out there doing it, but I'm just saying, once he out there doing whatever he doing and shit like that, because I'm gonna tell you something too. And another reason why they did what they did out there laying around, because a lot of times y'all deprived us from sex. Like, cut that bullshit out. Don't be saying that, oh, niggas just be out there cheating and shit. Like, nah, nigga, that ain't what it is. Cause we all been in a relationship. Nigga be want to get with you. We laid up next to you. We got the morning wood and all the other shit. But y'all want to play them fucking games and stuff. So like, and then what y'all say? Well, I ain't gonna do it. Go find somebody else gonna do it. Okay, bet. You know what I mean? Nigga, you gave me the permission to go out there and do it. You just sit there and say you ain't gonna do it. So go find somebody else to go do it. And then in the beginning, we'll be like, nah, you know I ain't gonna do that, baby. You know I only want to do it with you and this and all that other shit. But damn, after a couple of times, you keep doing the same shit and keep on rejecting nigga. You keep saying, I'm like, I believe you now. Shit, okay, you ain't gonna give a nigga nothing. Fuck it. You keep telling me to go do it. I'm about to go do that shit or break it off. So I don't believe in that cheating shit. I'd rather break up with shit. It don't make sense to cheat to me. Cause shit, if I want to go out there and have fun with a whole bunch of females, it don't make no sense to be tied down to one. That's stupid to me. You know what I mean? To each his own. I don't judge nobody, but I'm talking about to me. You know what I mean? So. But that's why they went out there and fucking rolled their damn heads around in different beds and shit. Because of, man, shit, grandma was, I ain't gonna, she was tired. She had 16 kids. You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck, leave me alone. She had 16 fucking kids. She been fucking cooking and shit. You know what I mean? Taking care of her sister's kids and brother's kids and all the other shit. So I know she had a lot of shit going on. But goddamn, Papa had to go out there and he had to go do what he had to go do. But the nigga still came home. He made sure that the family was good. And that's what I'm talking about, being patient and shit. You know what I'm saying? And females ain't got patience no more. You sit there and be a man towards a female and talk like a man. She'll sit there and get mad. And she'll sit there and cut you off because you too aggressive or goddamn, they'll find any fucking excuse to try to break it off with you. Like, that's the stupidest shit in the world. It's just backwards, bro. Everything's fucking backwards, bro. Everything is fucking backwards. It's off. Everything's off course. And that's why they're having headaches. They're having these, they dying young. Man, I'm seeing, man, these girls, man, they dying young, man. They looking bad too. They looking bad, man. I be out there rapping to them. I'm like, you look young. How you look? I'm like, I'm 34 years old. They're like, you 24. Yeah, I look young because I ain't got y'all in my fucking life. I'm not stressing the fuck out. I'm taking care of my goddamn self by not having y'all in my fucking life. And that's real talk. Not stressing over y'all motherfuckers. But y'all motherfuckers be fucking my age or a little bit younger, look fucking 40, 50 some fucking years old, man. That's real talk. That's real talk. And you know why y'all look like that? Because all that fucking hell y'all got pent up inside of y'all, man. All that low down shit y'all done did to all these motherfucking people in this world and shit. You gotta think about it, man. Let's just be real. This is gonna be the realest fucking live y'all ever fucking heard, man. Let's be real. Yes, we love our fucking women, man. We do. To a fucking detriment. They don't love us like that, but we love them. And that's the craziest thing about it. That's like that Stockholm syndrome shit. You know, when they talking about a female get beaten, they keep coming back to the abuse and shit like that. Black males are fucking Stockholm syndrome victims. Because we love the fuck out of our goddamn women. They be beating our fucking ass. They fucking send us to jail and shit. Call the laws on us. All types of low down shit that any other culture would have been broke off and left y'all the fuck alone. And we still stick by y'all motherfucking ass. When y'all sit there and put y'all hands on us, when y'all sit there and slice our tires, when y'all bust the windows out our car, they got a whole fucking song by Jasmine Sullivan called Busting the Windows Out Your Car. And they praise the fuck out that goddamn song. You know what I'm saying? Y'all disrespect our parents, y'all disrespect our moms. Y'all be the first motherfuckers talking about, you got a black mama, you supposed to respect me. But you disrespecting my black mom, calling her, the first thing you say is your mama. Every time we get into it, you bring my mama into it all the time. Now, man, come on, don't sit there and say I'm lying, because we all been through that shit. The first thing they say, because you know, they very good with hurting a nigga with words and shit. That's why words is like a sword. It can bring life and bring death. It's like it said in the Bible, and a woman is very powerful with her words, and she's supposed to use it for good and to build a man up. But instead they use it for destruction and try to tear a nigga down. That's why they reject men all the goddamn time, shit like that, because they get a thrill off of that. That shit make their pussy wet. I believe that. I believe they get wet off that shit. Every time they reject the goddamn dude and shit like that, they get in their goddamn car and smile and feel good and probably bust it out on the way home and shit. Because that gives them a thrill to motherfucking reject us and shit. But we so damn tough. I ain't talking about the fake. I'm talking about the real ones out there. The motherfuckers ain't tripping off that shit. They get 4, 5, 6 numbers after that shit. We ain't tripping off that shit. They hate that shit, man. But yeah, them motherfuckers, man, that sit there and did all that wrong in their life and shit like that, killing their babies with abortions and shit, damning their kids, you know, cussing their kids out, calling them bitches and shit like that, turning their daughters into whores and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Over-sexualizing these little boys and shit and wonder why they so goddamn horny and shit like that, because they had a fucking mama with half-ass clothes on and shit outside, cheeks hanging out in fucking public and shit. You know what I'm saying? They the reason why they be looking the way they be looking and be fucking feeling the way they be feeling. Because all that fucked up evil shit they done in this world, man. Niggas don't want to be rich, man. Look, I seen this shit a long time ago. See what I'm talking about? When a nigga always on his grind and shit, motherfucker want to start hitting me up. I seen this shit a long time ago, man. The transformation that a woman can do and the power that they have. I told a girl this a long time ago. I said, you got power. And she was like, no, I don't. I'm like, see, y'all already tear yourselves down. Y'all put yourselves down. And our women very insecure, man. They got power, but they use their power for the worst. They use it for the bad instead of the good. You know what I'm saying? Like the power that a woman, especially a black woman, man, if she go back to her natural divinity that God made them, you know what I'm saying, for us, man, we'll be the most powerful people in the world. But because of they so unloyal and so worldly and go to whatever that they seem is powerful, that don't be really powerful, but to them they think is powerful. That's the evil shit I was telling you about. That's why I say I believe they born evil and shit. So when they go to these white folks and all these other cultures and shit like that and trade us for them, go to them, have their hands out for them instead of us and be with us like we be for them and shit, man, couldn't nobody fucking stop us. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? If men, I'm starting to see it now with so far as men starting to unite a little bit. I see it bits and pieces here and there that men starting to unite, especially black men. But really, I ain't gonna lie to you, it ain't even about the black man shit no more. Now it's a man versus woman thing. It ain't even a man versus woman, it's a woman versus man thing, because we not against women. It's a lot of women that's against us. For real, for real. And I'm starting to see that like unity with men now. We starting to see in this country, man, them motherfuckers hate men, man. Them motherfuckers hate men, man. When you go talk to a lot of these motherfucking females, just wait though, how they fucking talk, them motherfuckers, I'm saying especially black men, man, they can't fucking stand men, man. But then when the motherfucker needs something though, when a nigga needs something though, need the motherfucker take that trash out. You want a nigga change that oil. You know what I'm saying? You want a nigga go reach up in that cabinet and shit because you too short to go reach it. All that other shit. When you do it by yourself, then when you be at home and I see these videos, they be like, man, I don't want to be no strong black woman. Shit, I don't want to be no strong. And see, y'all was spitting that independent, strong black woman shit for all these years, and you see that shit is not natural. That shit ain't supposed to be. Y'all been trying to follow these white folks all the goddamn time. Yeah, they telling you that shit because they know that we strong together. So what the enemy do? To defeat the enemy, break their ass apart. Had a woman against a man against a woman. It's easy to conquer their ass then. That's why we conquered. Because we apart. Before we wasn't apart, we was together. Just think about it. If you go back, if you do history, I love history, man. I'm a history buff. So if you go do history, right, in civilizations back in those days before feminists was even created, everybody, it wasn't even just white folks, everybody, it was big on family. Everything was big on the unit. You know what I mean? And especially black folks. When we was together, we had our Black Wall Streets down there in Florida and shit, Rosewood and shit. Orange Mountain. Orange Mountain is the first developed black community in this country. You know what I mean? Everything was black owned stores, everything down there on Orange Mountain and shit. The Harlem Renaissance and shit. Everything. When we was all together, we fist money over fist and doing business with each other. We did the numbers and stuff like that, bootlegging everything, whatever. You know what I'm saying? When we was all together and shit like that, nigga, we was strong. Now they make it seem like in them footages when we was in movies, we was in school and shit, watching all them black and white movies and shit, that we was fucking all getting beat up and stuff like that, and we was the bottom of the totem pole, even though we was financially and shit like that. But so far as spiritually and physically, nigga, we was fucking strong than the motherfucker. That's why they had to use us for everything. All the fucking rallies and the movements and stuff like that. And just like right now, they sit there being mad at us because we holding out on the ICE raid that's going on with illegal immigrants and shit like that. You know, because we got that godly strength inside of us. I've been on for a minute. We got that godly strength inside of us that helps build this motherfucking world. That it builds this nation, but build the world, because we are the world. You know what I'm saying? We was the first people here. That's why when you go to the ground and shit, underneath that grass, what color is that motherfucking dirt? That dirt is our skin complexion. They fucking white. You know what I'm saying? That shit is fucking dark brown. So come on, and in the Bible, just like it said, you know, we're gonna go back to the dirt. Motherfucker, to go back to the dirt. The dirt is brown. You brown motherfucker, where you think you came from? Nigga, the first people here is motherfucker that was naturally came from the earth. Black people. So we are the soil of this country. We the soil of this earth. Everything moves on our time, nigga. That's why when shit comes out, that shit is banging, that we created shit, everybody else follow. You know, we big brother. We big brother to these motherfuckers. We big brother and big sister to these motherfuckers. These young motherfuckers, they are little siblings and shit. They are little cousins and shit. They follow behind us. Just like everything that we do, they copy. Like they've been having a situation with this OT Mexican cat. I ain't heard this motherfucker. But I've been watching a few people on YouTube, they talked about it. This OT Mexican cat. He was saying that he can say nigga, and I know this from experience because I grew up in Texas. It's a whole bunch of Mexicans down here. And these motherfuckers do be comfortable saying nigga because a lot of these native Texan niggas be letting these motherfucking Mexicans be saying that shit. I don't know why they scared of these motherfuckers or none of that shit. But they real comfortable with saying that stuff because a lot of you niggas be letting them get away from saying that stuff because y'all grew up with them and shit. You know what I mean? So this OT Mexican dude from Cali, he was saying, he from I think he from Houston. My bad. He was saying that he could say niggas because he grew up around niggas and he did all this underworld, criminality with them, like all black folks are criminals and shit like that. So like they give him a pass to do it. And he did all this shit with them, so he feel as though he can say it. And check this out. He said that it wasn't no black man in there in the interview. But guess who was up in that bitch though? Exactly. Black women. And he told them straight up to their face, if I do say it, what the fuck y'all gonna do about it? And come on, I ain't trying to hear that talking about shit woman. Because I ain't seen some black women beat the hell out of niggas. So don't give me that shit talking about what they can do. I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. Cause all fucking women is the most strongest motherfucking women in the world. I remember, I'm gonna tell you something. We're gonna go back to this story. I remember I was in the 6th grade, man. 6th grade, right? I was at Woodstock. And I think this probably was I wasn't the first day of class. I forgot. But we was in homeroom. And I was like in the middle of the class, and then we had some chairs and desks with some students sitting on the left side, close to where the teacher's desk was at, right? So I ain't heard no rumbling. I ain't heard not rumbling, but I ain't heard no argument. Nothing. Man, the only thing I saw is this girl. I think this girl named Alicia. Yeah, that's her name, Alicia. Short. She was a midget. She was a short girl, dark black, brown skinned girl. She was black though. And man, she started beating the shit out this dude. What the dude name is? Kamar. Boy, see, I got good memory, man. And this way back in 2001, I believe. 2002. Hold on. That wasn't 2001. It was like 2002 or 3. Yeah, about 2. It was like 2002. So, man, that little motherfucker was beating the shit out that dude, man. She beat that nigga all on the desk and shit. I'm seeing fucking notebook paper flying all in the air and shit. Man, she tore that boy up. And like he wasn't like he was kind of frail, he was kind of skinny and shit like that. And he looked like one of those he looked like one of those Indian type black dudes. You know what I'm saying? You can tell he's from another country though. But man, she beat that little girl. Man, she beat the shit out of him, man. Like she beat the shit out of him, man, for real. Man, she tore that boy up. You know what I'm saying? It was in the 6th grade. And I seen another incident like when I first came down here to Texas and shit. And I was in high school. And this girl was going with this dude, and it was a summer school. I had to go to summer school and shit because I had to make up for one of my classes and shit that I failed at, right? So we get on a bus and we get dropped off in front of the school, and the girl just pop nigga, man. And he sit there and just took it. And she popped the nigga again. And he just sitting, I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, God damn, nigga, she beating the shit out. What the fuck? He ain't gonna do nothing about it. He just sitting there taking the shit. And I start seeing like almost every day this shit happen. So I'm like, oh, that's their relationship. Like, he must get off on that shit or something like that. I don't know what it was, but yeah, she used to beat that nigga, man. She used to beat that nigga. I was in 9th grade when that shit happened. So all this other stuff, when I started getting older, to my dudes beating up, I'm like, nigga, I used to see girls beat the shit out of niggas, man, when I was coming up. So I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Now, I ain't saying that it don't happen because like I said, of course we done heard stories and stuff like that of dudes beating up. But I'm talking about from my eyes, that I saw to my eyes, I seen a lot of females beat the shit out of niggas, man. Word life, no fucking lie. And I know y'all have too. So I ain't trying to hear none of that shit talking about some black women need to be protected. Because a lot of motherfuckers ain't gonna lie, they can protect their goddamn self. Because I seen them handle their motherfucking business for real, for real. You know what I mean? So I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. So I'm trying to think what the fuck I was going to with this shit. I started talking about a whole bunch of other shit and shit like that, man. And I forgot what I was going to with that shit. But yeah, man. That shit was crazy, man. That shit shocked the shit out of me, man. Cause I'm like, dude, he was, and she was hitting that nigga hard too. It ain't like no little thumps and shit, man. She was hitting, bro, hard in the motherfucker, bro. Hard in the motherfucker, dog. So, Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on. Oh, yeah, about the OT Mexican. Yeah, my bad. Shit. Yeah. The Mexican cat was talking about he can say nigga, whatever. So, down here, a lot of them they say nigga too. And dudes don't be saying shit, you know what I'm saying? So he said all this shit around, excuse me, goddamn. Fucking fool, man, got nigga burping a lot. But he said all this shit around those females and shit, and he knew they weren't gonna do nothing, you know what I'm saying? And he probably went on messing that fuck with black girls and shit like that. So he real comfortable around them too. So they ain't even say shit about it. He's like, man, I can say it, and what y'all gonna do about it? And they ain't see it. Shit. You know what I mean? So if all of us got together, right? And I think he ended up apologizing afterwards because of what's that nigga name? One of the rappers, I think Sauce Walk or something like that. I think he ended up making a video about it, responding to it and shit. So, and some other people probably that he so-called respect or whatever probably got at him. So he ended up making a response videos and apologizing and shit like that later. But that ain't real, because look, let me tell you something. If I did something, right? If I did something wrong, it ain't even, I'm gonna tell you something. That's like me fucking going around. I know they don't say this shit. Mexicans don't call each other wetbacks and spicks and shit like that. Well, spick, I think that's a Puerto Rican derogatory term. So, we talking about Mexicans. The cases of the Mexicans, right? A wetback is a derogatory term that you use talking about them, right? So, let's say that was their slang. They took that and flipped it and made it some well, it ain't, positive, but they made it positive like how we made, nigga positive, whatever. And we was around them, we grew up around them, we heard them say it all the time and shit like that. If I came around them and said wetback, you think them motherfuckers gonna let me say that shit? All right then. If I was around some Chinese folks and they turned chink into something positive, you think just because I grew up around a whole bunch of Chinese folks, you think they gonna let me say that shit? Italian, same thing. You know what I mean? The other people that run this shit, you know what I'm talking about. All these motherfuckers, if I sit there and use all they derogatory terms that's inflicted in some type of negative way that they know that's an insult, and I use that shit because if they use that shit, you think they gonna let me use that shit. You think they gonna let you use that shit. All right then. So, motherfucker, we should let the motherfuckers use that shit. We shouldn't be saying it, to be honest with you, period. But, hey, it ain't got no color on there. Anybody can be a nigga. If you look at the word dictionary, I know a long time ago we did that shit. Looked it up in the Daniels Webster dictionary before we had Google. That motherfucker said ignorant person. It ain't say no ignorant black person. It ain't got no color on that shit. Anybody can be a nigga. So to be honest with you, the white folks is niggas because they are ignorant. Because them niggas was stupid as fuck when them niggas came to this. Man, look, man. Just read, man. Just do some reading. If you do some reading is fundamental. Just read, man. That's all you got to do. And you start reading. I remember I watched that Malcolm X movie a long time ago when he got locked up and shit, and dude told him to go. He was talking about the definitions of black and stuff like that, and he told him to go through the dictionary and start from A all the way to Z and shit, and learn these words so you can use that shit against these people. Against these white folks and stuff. So he started looking up black and how black was being framed as some disgusting and ugly and all that different type of shit. Hence. That's why all the old movies and commercials had black folks looking ugly, real dark and buffoonery and stuff like that. And then white was porcelain and pure and good and all the other different type of shit. And hence the movies, when they had them looking all nice and polite and delightful and all this shit and stuff like that, they use that as propaganda and shit like that to brainwash us. So when I used to talk to these females, and I had exes like this too, you sit there and talk to these females, and I'm like, man, you look beautiful with your natural hair. They'll flip on you. They be like, I like wearing weaves. Like, nigga, and see, that's what I'm talking about. That shit will fuck your head up. Because you'll think that I'm telling you that you look beautiful natural. You'll think they'll appreciate that shit. Because you're not telling them, yo, you got to add something else on for you to look good. To me, I think that's an insult. You telling me, hey, man, you got to put some makeup on, goddamn, you ugly motherfucker. Or you tell the motherfucker, hey, man, you need to put some hair in your goddamn hair. You a bald-headed ass wench. That's something to make you fucking mad, right? No. These niggas get mad when you tell them that you look good natural. And I had an incident like that. And she sit there and argue with me up and down about why she shouldn't wear no makeup. I'm like, you look good like you is. She dark-skinned girl. Like, you look good like how you is. You don't need no makeup on this, man. Well, I like wearing makeup, man. I like, okay, man. We try, man. We try. It's only so much you can do. I'm not about to sit there and keep on punching the wall and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, sooner or later my knuckles gonna bleed. You know what I mean? So it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? That's life though, man. That's life. And then the Trump thing been going on, man. That nigga Trump went off on them niggas on that damn report. And niggas all surprised because he cussed. I'm like, man, come on, you can tell this motherfucker cuss. Look at his face. And then that nigga looking darker every time you see this nigga getting all this shit. Every time you see this nigga, he getting darker and darker. I think he about to get ready to die. I mean, shit. I mean, it ain't no goddamn clue. I mean, shit. You can tell the motherfucker about 80-something years old. Shit, he about to get ready to die anyway. I'm just saying. Like, shoot, this nigga colorization of his fucking skin can just keep on getting darker and darker. His hair and shit changing different colors and shit. He looking more like he about to be up in the fucking dirt in a little bit, man. So I'm like, bro, why y'all look surprised because the nigga cuss? Boy, it look like that's all he do is cuss. It seems like he tries hard as not to cuss when he do the interviews with y'all and shit. When he be talking about his fake news, you know you want to say other shit. You want to do a whole bunch of cussing. But, you know, most of that stuff ain't going to be aired on TV. There's going to be bleeping a lot. So he's like, let me force all these regular words out. And then I throw a little cuss word at the end and then turn around and stroll on cool and shit. That nigga strolled out that bitch cool as soon as he said that. He said fuck and said something else. And then nigga turned around and went to the plane all cool and shit like the man. Shit, that shit was cool the motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? And don't y'all be here talking about I don't support no goddamn, but I support myself and God and God. That's it. I don't support nothing else, nigga. And of course my kids, man, but that's it. Shit. So don't come on here talking that damn stupid ass fucking shit talking about I support Trump. I don't support shit but myself, man. Shit. Yeah, man, it was a cool ass live, dude. How long I been on this motherfucker? 4 hours, some change? Shit. Hey, give me something to drink. Nigga parched like a motherfucker. But yeah, bro, that's been going on in the world and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? These crazy ass people in the world. And it ain't the world that's crazy. People like this world's crazy. The world ain't crazy, man. It's the people in the world that's crazy. How the fuck can a planet be crazy? You know what I'm saying? The planet is a planet. It's solid. That can't be crazy. That shit don't do nothing but just move around, nigga. It's the people in it. Everything else do is natural courses. You know what I'm saying? The plants grow like how they're supposed to grow. It rain when it's, well, you know, sometimes the rain, you know, sometimes they mess with the weather. So they ain't always natural. But for the most part, when it do supposed to be natural when it rain and shit, it hit the ground, it grows plants and fucking vegetables and fruits and shit and animals and shit like that. They still at their natural state. They fucking going out there hunting, prey and shit like that and mating with each other. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. If you think about animals, right? Let's just think about animals, right? The male animal, right? He sees the female. I seen a cat do this. He sees the feline. He sees the female cat. So what he do? He go over there, play around with it. She try to resist, fight him off and shit like that. Go over there, grab a motherfucking ass, do a thing. To dominance. Same thing with a male dog. Dominance. Nigga, you can do that as a human being. Your stupid ass get arrested for fucking rape, nigga. You can't do that dumb ass shit. That's dumb as hell to do that. But I'm just saying, so far I'm talking about nature. I'm talking about you going to converse with a female, she feeling your vibe, y'all connected, shit like that, no games being involved, you feeling good, she feeling good, bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And everything's all good. And the civilization just keep rolling on, keep rolling on, keep rolling on. You know what I'm saying? But women killing our kids by not having kids. And if they is having kids, they having kids the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So really, to be honest with you, they really killing this nation. If you think about it, they really murderers. But see, y'all don't think like how I think. Oh damn, we lost connection. Okay, there we go. We back in this motherfucker, man. What's happening, C-Mo? My brother in this motherfucker. What's happening, man? Hell yeah. Shit, man, this world crazy. I mean, not this world. Got me saying that this world's crazy. The people in the world crazy as a motherfucker, man. This motherfucking Monday. I'm about to sit here and go get me something to eat. Turn this AC on, man. It's hard to tell up here. I'll grab me something to eat real quick. Shit. Got done doing this stupid ass class, man. This dumb ass anger management class. I had to do this shit for 3 months. Yeah, it work right now. I gotta do this dumb ass shit. But yeah, man, I'm trying to see what else that happened going on in the world and shit, man. We're gonna talk about gender wars part 2. I'm glad I brought this up too, man, because I've been putting this on the back burner for a long ass time, but I'm glad I finally brought this up. So we got gender wars part 2 we just discussed. We're gonna talk about politics with Donald Trump. We're We done talked about history and shit. I'm gonna start doing more history videos. That's what I need to start doing. I'm about to start doing more history videos and shit. You know what I'm saying? Start getting some clips and stuff like that. With some narration on that shit, and start discussing it, and then bring it up to today's current times and how it all entwine together and stuff. That'd be fun. And I can get back to doing some more boxing videos. I ain't gonna lie, man. Boxing been kind of weak lately, dude. Like, I mean, they had Wilder fight not too long ago. I don't even know who he fought. He fought some fucking dude I never heard of before. And the last 2-3 fights he fought, he lost. So now hold on, he fought Fury. The third time he lost. The Asian dude, Zhang, he got knocked out. And Parker. Yeah, Joseph Parker, he lost. So yeah, his last three fights he lost. So he ended up fighting this fight. This is his fourth fight. And I think they ended up stopping the fight because he was beating the dude up so-called kind of bad or whatever. I mean, I saw some clips of it, but it wasn't even that interesting for me to watch the whole fight. So that wasn't really nothing, man. And then, the Jake Paul shit. Excuse me. Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. They ended up fighting. I knew Jake Paul was gonna win that because, man, Chavez, man, that dude sucked, dude. That dude ain't won no fight since probably 2010. Shit, so it looked like it was rigged, though. Because for a few times when I saw those clips that Chavez hit Jake Paul, it looked like he could have some more like combinations and some more work to get him up out of there or whatever. But he just stopped, he just held him, and he was out of shape. So I don't think he really trained. He probably did train, but I think that shit was rigged, though. I mean, that Jake Paul fights and stuff like that still be rigged, dog. So, they're going to make him a contender now since he fought a real boxer now. So he's going to be in the rankings instead of fighting all these MMA fighters. So now they're talking about him and Zerto Ramirez, which was the co-main to the main card and shit. They talking about him fighting next for the title for 175. I ain't going to watch that shit. And then I think the only fight that it was worth mentioning, talking about is, what's the kid name? Kid Austin and Tevin Farmer. Yeah, that fight, it was fast. He knocked him out in the first round. I think it was like probably 90 seconds. It was less than 90 seconds, yeah. It was like a minute into the first round. He ended up knocking Tevin Farmer out. And Tevin Farmer had never been knocked out before. He done had all his fights, well, not all his fights, but majority of his fights been tight fights and shit where he won them. The last two fights that he had with, what's that Mexican dude name? Shakur supposed to be fighting him. Zepeda. The last two fights that he had was Zepeda and shit was tight. And he went 24 rounds with him. So, Schofield, but I ain't gonna lie, I had a feeling, because usually when they start talking in them press conferences, they talking about, I ain't never been knocked out before, and then this young dude come up, and he end up facing this older champion and shit like that, and he kind of like 1 foot out the door type shit, like his skills and kind of depleted a little bit. Man, they end up getting knocked out, because they ain't been in the game for a long ass time. So, I kind of had a feeling that he was gonna knock him out, but I ain't know it was gonna be that damn quick. I ain't know it was gonna be in the first round. So yeah, Kid Schofield, he knocked his ass out. And they talking about him and Shakur supposed to fight next. They supposed to fight last year, but he so-called ended up getting sick and shit. Which I don't believe he got sick. I believe he just want to pull out because he wasn't ready. And who else fought? Oh yeah, and Pacquiao supposed to be fighting too. And man, I don't want to watch no Pacquiao, man. He done had his time. His time is up. That dude 46, 7, some shit like that. He in the mid-40s, something like that. About to fight this young dude, Mario Barrios. Man, and Mario Barrios, he ain't even all that. That's the dude that fought Tank a couple of fights ago and shit. And he fought Ugas to beat Ugas and shit, 147, coming up from 135. So, he came up from 140. My bad, 140. So, man, I want to watch that. That's going to be an easy fucking fight. Depending on the shape Pacquiao going to be in, but he old, but still, he was old when he beat Keith Thurman. So, I think it's kind of written that he gonna beat Barrios so they can have this like big ass fucking topic about him coming back, like George Foreman came back and beat for the title at 45 years old, so they can make a whole thing about it, like, oh, age ain't nothing but a number, and the great Pacquiao came back after 45-year layoff and shit like that and beat this young gun and Mario Barrios and stuff like that. It's gonna be a whole thing and shit. So I think it's kind of scripted that Manny Pacquiao gonna win. But you never know, man. Yeah, you never know shit. Barrios might end up winning, so I'm not gonna watch it though. which one was on. So I don't know. I might not watch it. And I know it's gonna be expensive. They will have it on pay-per-view because it's Pacquiao. So I remember I paid for that fucking Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fucking fight. That shit was about $110. I wasted all my damn money on that fight. Man, they ain't even fought. Them niggas was dancing. So I know I ain't paying for this motherfucking fight. Yeah, dog, but shit, I'm about to go and get about this jump, man. But peace to everybody coming in this motherfucker, tapping in on this Making It Happen Monday. Y'all have a blessed day, dog, and stay up out there, dog. Hey, stay away from them demons, bro. Stay away from them. One.